edition of India Affiliate Summit, co-presented by IAMAI and V Commission, powered by Optimize Media, brought to you by Zapads Media in association with Trackia. We now have an interesting lead talk on why affiliate partnerships are the future of marketing by Mr. Robert Glazer, founder and CEO, Acceleration Partners. A very warm welcome to you, sir. Over to you.
Thank you very much. Hi, everyone. Happy to be closing out today. My name is Bob Glazer. I am the founder and CEO of Acceleration Partners. We are the largest global independent affiliate and partner marketing agency, and our 230-person team manages about 150 programs across 25 countries. And one of the things we've seen is that there's three major changes affecting almost everyone in marketing and commerce today. So the first is that sales are going digital. The second is direct to consumer. 90% of consumers would rather buy directly from a brand if they could, and 40% of manufacturers are already selling directly. And then the last and biggest, it sort of impacts the group here today is this shift to outcome. So in a recent study, 63% of CMOs said they don't feel that it can even improve the short-term impact of their marketing spend. So let's talk about a little bit why we're moving to outcomes. And we'll cover a couple things: the sort of dominance of the triopoly, particularly in the U.S., auction-style pricing, incentive alignment, and privacy problems. So there's particularly in the U.S., there's three kings of digital marketing: Amazon, Google, and Facebook, and they just command enormous market share for brands that sell online. The average price of a Facebook ad rose from 31 cents in December 2018 to 48 cents in February 2020. That's a 54% increase in 1 year. And after a pandemic year that rocked the economy, Facebook's just reported a 48% increase in quarterly earnings. And that was driven by almost a 40% increase in ad price. So I just don't know many businesses that have seen their return on ad spend, grow at that rate. And brands have relied on these sort of platforms and other similar ones around the world globally for the bulk of their digital marketing. And they're just getting priced out. One CEO said to me, "The only thing that's guaranteed in my business is the cost of my paid media going up quarter after quarter." And this is part of a bigger trend in digital marketing towards auctions. As it's gone more digital, everything has been put in auctions. Auctions really benefit the sellers, and they cause prices to escalate. And it also causes some irrational bidding. In a study of eBay auctions conducted in 2017, two economists discovered that the average eBay winner overpays by 73% in their bid for that item. They could have actually just paid less for the item on eBay by buying it through a fixed price listing. So if businesses are putting all their money into the auction, they're kind of walking into an environment where there is a bidding fury. Another thing is incentives. A lot of people know the guy on the right, that's Warren Buffett. The guy on the left is Charlie Munger, his long-time number two, who famously said, "Show me the incentive and I'll tell you the behavior," because behavior follows incentives. And this is really true with digital marketing. A lot of digital marketing today is sold rather than bought, and the incentives are all around clicks and impressions and the amount that you spend. That's not really necessarily aligned to the goals of the people who are buying that advertising. And then last but not least, we've got a privacy problem. The cookie's on its way out the door, and as a result, companies won't really be able to rely on a lot of this harvested customer data, which has been the backbone of a lot of ad models. You have GDPR, obviously, in the UK. California has launched something similar, CCPA. I think around the world, you're going to see more of these laws. Customers also just don't want that creepy feeling of talking about a product with a friend at lunch and then seeing an ad for it, when they get back on their social media. So, brands are going to have to rely on first-party data, or they're going to have to work with marketing partners that have cultivated audiences who don't need all of that personal information. So the solution to this really is moving towards outcome-based models, and where brands only pay for marketing after they get the sale, and they only pay for the outcomes they want. And the outcome could be a variety of different things, from a sale, a lead, or traffic, but it's not a click and it's not an impression. And here's an example of what we're going to talk about at work. My friend Mike here in the US started this direct-to-consumer subscription natural meat business a few years ago called ButcherBox. And when I first talked to him in 2015, they were doing a few $1,000s a month. And then I saw him again a couple years later, and he was winning an award, and they were doing $2.5 million a month. And now they're just much bigger. And when I asked Mike, like, what is it that they had done? Well, they didn't even know the word affiliate program, but they went out there and they found a ton of influential bloggers and people in their space and in the paleo community and people who, were about healthy living and the quality of food. And they said to them, look, if you market our product, we'll pay you a subscription fee. And they found some software to track that. And they had built a really big affiliate partner market program without doing it. And it allowed them to grow their business at an exponential rate without any outside funding. So this sort of leads to a discussion that goes on a lot today in the marketplace on this sort of affiliate marketing versus partner marketing, or we prefer to call it partnership marketing, to differentiate from different forms of partner marketing. But you have folks in the affiliate space, saying that, oh, well, this is just a rebrand, and because all these people are raising money and it's bringing money into the space, well, that's great. And then you have people in the partner space saying, oh, affiliate is dead, but a lot of their programs include a lot of traditional people who would be considered affiliate. So, rather than we have a different way of thinking about this, rather than sort of this fight of affiliate versus partner. And it starts with kind of understanding the value chain of how affiliate works, right? And everyone on this call knows this. You've got the customer, they come to the affiliate website, tracks through a network or a platform, goes to the merchant, they report it back, and either they manage it in-house or they have someone like Acceleration Partners, manage that for them. And this is great. It's fully automated solution. And it is historically, the way it is done is it's charged as a percentage of commissions or revenue for using this technology, which helps create a lot of automation in the affiliate space. But then in parallel, you have this partner stuff going on that's super labor intensive. You have someone identifying a partner, doing a contract and negotiating with them, coming up with tracking and offer codes, maybe building a landing page, reporting the outcomes back to them in a spreadsheet, invoicing them, getting the payment, and then figuring out all the tax forms. And this can take sort of 1 to 3 months lag time, so you don't get real performance data. Well, what's great about the affiliate marketing model and why it's expanding to all these other areas is because there is a way to sort of bring this level of automation to business development partnerships that the affiliate industry has known for years. But we've got to address that a little bit with a different economic model than the historical network model, because people are using it in different ways. So we think of partnership marketing as just a model that allows brands to consolidate all their marketing partnerships under one umbrella. Affiliate marketing is one piece of that puzzle. There's increasingly influencers coming into that, channel marketing, aspects of referral and business development. And what we just see is that affiliate marketing is this piece of a bigger pie. So the new partner program has the affiliate stuff in it, right? But it also has these emerging partnership channels. It's got PR and influencer stuff. It has elements of business development and referral and ambassador programs. But the benefit for the brand is that it's all done under one roof. It's under one technology platform, and you're able to build a much bigger program that's doing a diversified set of activities. The way we think about those things under one roof is there's the brand layer and what the brand has to focus on. You really need a tracking solution, whether that's a network or a SaaS platform. And then you need management, whether that's in-house or outside, helping to recruit and build the program. And sometimes you're managing hundreds or thousands of partners a day. And our definition of performance partnerships, or sort of the partnership marketing that people want, really has 4 main elements to it, how we differentiate from maybe traditional affiliate marketing or other aspects. So the first is paying on a cost per customer acquisition. So truly paying for performance. So there are a lot of things in performance marketing that you can actually measure that they don't work, but Google and Facebook and other places are not going to give you, Alibaba are not going to give you your money back. Transparency of partner activities. So this is really different from the affiliate of 10 or 20 years ago. Where it was just like, don't ask, don't tell. If you got the sale, you had no right to ask where it came from or discuss it with you. I mean, these days, really, people want to understand what their partners are doing and what that activity looks like. And it's a very different threshold to really call that person a partner than an affiliate. The third is related to that is this sense of ongoing partnership, right? This is not transactional. This is a relationship. If someone makes a mistake, we're going to try to work it out. I think historically, sometimes maybe, an affiliate promoted something they shouldn't have, or the brand did not tell them that it was off limits, and then they went and canceled all their commissions. Well, again, that's a very transactional way of looking at it versus someone that you're planning on being in a relationship with for many different years. And then the last element is in these new partner program, again, is this real-time tracking and payment. So this is, always been true in the affiliate space, but this is what's being brought into these other areas of partner marketing and business development. And one of the drawbacks of everyone's always loved this software, but the reason why companies have done stuff differently and manually is because, they really don't want to pay for performance in perpetuity. The typical historical affiliate network model around the world has been, you pay 1% to 2% of revenue, maybe 20 to 30% of commission for the relationships that come through the network. But as people started to have these other relationships, they'd say, look, I really could use this tracking and payment and all the stuff the network model has, but I'm not sure I want to pay 20 or 30% for a partnership that I initiated. And two, that goes on forever. So let's think about our sales teams. We don't pay our sales teams, for the sales that they closed 5 years ago. They kind of have to go get new sales. So the way that this has been priced historically, and that it's sort of in perpetuity, is becoming more unattractive for companies where 5 years later the relationship hasn't even grown, and that's a good 20 or 30% is a good piece to pay for an acquisition price, maybe in the first 6 to 12 months, but not as an ongoing kind of maintenance fee. And so we've seen as a result a lot of companies, particularly global companies, moving or adding a SaaS based program to their network. Two of the largest are PartnerEyes and Impact, but we're seeing new ones kind of emerge each day. And they do a lot of the same thing. They just license you the technology. And one of the things that brands like about it is a fixed license fee or a usage license fee. So if they want to bring their own partners or recruit in-house partners onto the network, they can do that. It gives them more of a direct relationship to manage those partners and enforce their own rules without kind of an arbitrator. And I think some large global brands really want to be the arbitrators of their own program. They don't want to rely on a third party. All kinds of different partner types can be supported. And again, just more brand control in terms of who gets in, who doesn't get in, and the ability to enforce the rules of the program. And then really importantly, private partnerships not shared with competitors. There's a lot of historically, programs on a network, and the people managing the program might be managing a competitor program, and they'll just go to those publishers and pull them in. So when you license your own version of the technology, you're building a private pool of your own publishers that is proprietary. So if you recruit a very close business development partner and put them in, they are not going to be made available to everyone else on a platform. And increasingly, that's a benefit that some people are really looking for. So another thing that this allows is just deeper integration with business workflow. Uber, we worked with years ago, has a tracking technology, a SaaS platform that's deeply integrated into their Uber partner program. So, for drivers, they have a program, and they partner with job boards and other types of partners who can send potential drivers to the Uber platform. Well, that tech is beyond the simple sale and lead. It's just integrated deeply into their workflow. So when a driver completes a background check, there's a tiny kind of payout to let people know that it's pulling through. But 2 months later, when they complete their first ride and they swipe and finish it, that's when the big part payout goes to the partners. And that sort of deep integration lets a company like Uber align that to their workflow. And then partners have real-time access to know how they're doing along the way, but they can be ensured that they're not paying for leads, that really don't convert, or sales, things that don't convert. So it is really closely aligned to what they value as a business. And another example of this in terms of a company was, years ago, Reebok has its UFC program, and they had a lot of their athletes that had a lot of cross-banner programs with Reebok, and they wanted to sell them. And the athletes didn't want to be a store. But someone like Reebok didn't want to say, hey, go join our affiliate program on this network and be available to everyone else out there. Like, these were sort of proprietary business development relationships. So what they did was they used a SaaS platform and a program, and they went to these partners and they said, look, join our partner program, and we'll use a router and put, here's a product feed, and you can list these products on your site. And, you will route based on which country someone is in to which program, and then we'll just pay you a commission. And so this was the combination of, again, sort of a business development type relationship enabled by affiliate and partner marketing technology. So what's next for the industry on a global basis? Well, I think there's a few trends we'll talk about. I think there's concept of marketplaces and marketing, diversification from the triopoly in whatever region it is. There tends to be a small group of dominant advertisers that have 80% of the budget in an auction thing. And then some of the trends that we're seeing in partner and affiliate marketing. So when you think about marketplaces, you think about Uber or Airbnb or other sort of dual-sided marketplaces, and how they grew so quickly because Uber didn't need to own cars. Airbnb didn't need to own, homes. They created sort of a set of rules by which people could transact with each other. And then they were able to, grow that market pretty substantially by having those people work with each other. But again, under a strict set of rules and guidelines that you had to play. Well, think about this in terms of your marketing. So if you're a brand, it's really hard to keep up with all the channels these days and have an expert in everything. As soon as you master YouTube, there's Facebook. You should master Facebook, there's Instagram, then there's Snapchat, then there's TikTok. And so if you think about what this next generation partnership marketing program is, it's kind of like an open source way to test new channels and bring in marketing experts to your program and build an extended marketing team. Now, I'm not saying it replaces your marketing team, but there's thousands of partners around the world who might be experts in a certain tactic or a certain region. And if you've defined the outcomes, you've defined the rules, you've set the parameters, they can come to your brand and execute a very specific task and get paid on a performance basis. And again, you can now roll all these people and manage them in one system. So what this looks like in the environment, the shift that's happening is that, in the current or historical environment, you had a company, let's say it's Acme, and then they're working like outside the walls of their company with third-party platforms and an agency on those third-party platforms. And because of that, there's a lot of opacity. They feel like they give up a lot of control. The incentives are often to spend more. There's a lot of markup in middlemen. Maybe like 50% of this is all marked up. And it's an auction format, right? So they're just paying more. Well, in this new model where you bring the technology in-house and you ask your agency and partners to work on your own instance of it, there's much more transparency because you know exactly what's going on. The company controls it. Your incentives are aligned to CPA. You have direct relationships, and it is kind of a reverse auction. Rather than bidding more, you can say, I will, to give this partner, I will allocate a lot more budget to a partner who can meet my CPA threshold. Maybe I only have $500,000 to spend at a $1 CPA, but I have $1 million to spend if you can hit a 75 cent CPA. And what this is enabling is what I call this third fat pipe. So, we talk more about triopoly, or could be the fourth fat pipe, depending on how you're looking at it. But what Facebook and Google and the large paid search and social platforms are really good at is making it easy to spend a lot of money. But what you're getting is a very concentrated group of partners and inventory, and they can just turn the price up every day. When you apply this technology to hundreds or thousands of partnerships, you're getting those same sort of automated campaign development tools, the ability for a CMO to spend a large budget, but it's from a diversified source of traffic. And I think people are increasingly seeing that as an interesting benefit for their program. So there's a lot of interesting new verticals that we're seeing in these new partnership programs. You've got marketplaces, as I mentioned, because they have demand and supply. They tend to have 2 or 3 programs. You've got brands working directly with each other. You've got card linked and site to store programs. You've got more B2B programs as people see this as kind of a way to digitize their business development. You have tech partners that'll integrate with your partner program and say, look, we'll work on retargeting, or we'll work on basket lift, and we won't charge you up front for that. We'll do that on a performance basis. Seeing more consumer technologies, chatbot, ways that they're kind of connecting with the consumer in different ways and then able to flip them to a brand. Streaming, obviously mobile publishers, kind of dominant portion of the market now. And then just new types of performance channels, performance-based social, podcasts, just, almost anyone can be a partner or a publisher kind of in this new model. And along with that, I think the need to manage these programs in a different way is being seen. So historically, a program manager had a pretty narrow scope. Like it was like, deal with the coupon and loyalty folks, keep everyone at the same commission rate, not a lot of compliance and oversight, you may be responding to the people who reached out, but not proactive, and not a real focus on attribution incrementality. Well, then sort of next generation of partnership management is thinking about, dynamic commission rates and how do you incentivize different partners to behave in different way, daily compliance and monitoring with a real-time feedback loop of problems, a lot, one-to-one partner relationship and outreach, and really making sure that the program is aligned with the brand's incentives. And this moves towards a concept of, how, not if. Like, I think there's a lot of generalization in affiliate. A lot of people got burnt back in the days by some low value tactics, or maybe even more recently. But it's not about who you partner with, I think, anymore. It's about how you partner with. A lot of folks say, hey, I don't want to partner with a coupon site because they're just doing these fake offers and stuff like that. And I say, yeah, that is true in some cases. And we could probably regulate that with the technology. But hey, what if the coupon site texts 20 million partners and drives them to an in-offer, an offer in store for your brand, in the next 7 days. And they say, oh, well, we're really interested in that. Or if someone says, I don't do loyalty. Well, what if the loyalty partner can target, take a group of emails from you and target entirely new to file customers based on a lookalike audience? These are the things, if you're not on the calls with partners every day, if you're not talking about them, what they can do, you tend to have a very kind of, oh, that works or doesn't work view of a tactic, when I really think, again, we're in the mode of how, not if these days. You work with partners. Also seeing a lot more brand to brand. So people working together directly through their partnership program. So Staples is a big office store supplier in the US. GoDaddy is a domain registrar. So, Staples has this deal with this publisher that facilitates it, where right after a purchase is made, they promote an offer to seeing if they want a domain, or it looks like they have a new business, and they just track a commission on each sale and they pay through their affiliate or partner software. Well, that might have been a business development deal 5 years ago, but it's really, if you automate that process, it's really easy to onboard many more partners doing those deals without going through a business development type relationship. And finally, just some trends that we're seeing across the partner marketing landscape moving forward, and particularly on a global basis. So there's our fastest growing part of our business is programs growing from one region to another. I think, AWIN being a global platform, Optimize, Partnerize, Impact, a lot more just global platforms. But to manage a global program, you need an integrated global effort, and you need people on the ground in the market that speak those languages. You cannot manage an Indian program from the US, and you cannot manage a US program from India. You might be able to manage some of the operational aspects of it, but not publisher development and outreach. So, we have built teams in all of these countries because we just see that the real true global programs, need language coverage, they need time coverage, and then they need someone who understands the platform and the strategy in each market. Obviously, mobile partners have become dominant in the landscape. I think it used to be a drag on the industry because conversion was really poor. But things like Alipay, Google Pay, Apple Pay, making it so where it's just easier to check out online, chatbots, all kinds of things has totally changed this. So, just a huge focus on mobile partners. Really a move from these fixed commissioning models to these smart commissioning models. So we have some clients like StubHub, uses an incrementality multiplier informed by cross-channel data to figure out what rate they pay publishers. Target looks at incrementality by partner and profitability at a product level, and even new versus returning customers when they're figuring that out. And then you could conceive of a travel company saying, look, let's pretend it's a home rental business. When someone comes to our site and looks at 10 properties and saves 3 of them, we know historically that's had a 90% conversion rate. So we're willing to call that an outcome and pay for it. So just see a lot of people getting smarter in how they're paying commissions. And then again, using these SaaS platforms to change the relationship with a partner, where instead of it being co-branded and about the technology that you use, the white label platforms, and they're increasingly being called partner programs. So you get on that page and the technology is not, first and foremost. These pages would have all looked differently years ago. And then now they'll say, join our partner program or our ambassador program. And the technology is a little more in the background. Huge growth in mass media. Look, mass media has realized they're sitting on a trove of digital assets. This was the strongest segment for us last year, up by about 31% across all of our customers, particularly, driven by BuzzFeed and some other Business Insider. Most, media brands are getting into the performance space, and they're launching comparison shopping, and they're really kind of diving into that. And it's a great opportunity for brands. And then from a team standpoint, I think when people are realizing, look, it's hard to build a team. The perfect manager has a bunch of right brain and left brain things. They're creative, they're analytic. We need fraud compliance, we need tech expertise, and they're just not finding that in one person. So they're rethinking, like, what does a cross-functional partnership team look like as we expand to new categories? They're trying to break down silos and make this team work across the business. And have one team that manages this program. And increasingly, it really needs a cross-functional skill set because, as I said, there's a lot of different pieces that go into making a quality program these days. So, few things to wrap up. I think, the way we shop, consumer shop, is changing forever. And that's really creating opportunities for the affiliate and partner industry, direct to consumer, brand money moving into performance marketing, and people interested in making outcomes. Companies are getting priced out of these auction marketplaces, and they're realizing quickly they're going to need something that's a little more sustainable and that's a little more aligned to their interests. And then outcomes really do matter most. So getting the sale, getting the conversion, that is what is most critical to the brand. No one's out there just looking for clicks or impressions, except for the people selling them. So I do think this is a trend that's going to continue to benefit the entire industry. We do a lot of audits. If you have a global program, if you're interested in seeing, how it could work in other markets, or what it might look like, or where there's any gaps or opportunities, we're happy to have someone on the team take a look at that and get back to you on that. You can either grab the QR code or check out our website and the global. And then last, we've got a global book called Performance Partnerships. Actually, it's been a big seller in India. So thank you, everyone, for your support. If you want a free copy of that book, the abridged version of it, you can click on this QR code and it'll bring you to that page. If you have any questions, this is my contact information and information across social, and we'd be happy to talk to you. And we may have a minute for questions here, but let me check the chat if you had a question. Here it is. So do you think New Venture can enter into affiliate partnership? If so, how can tracking be done? And which should be the win-win solution to build trust between partners? So I assume this means like a brand new company. Yeah, look, brand new companies, I actually think affiliate is not the best first thing to get into. I think you might want to do some organic search or paid media or otherwise, and just make sure your conversion's right, your pricing's right. You don't want to go to a whole bunch of partners with a value proposition and pricing and stuff that turns out you have to change all of it. So yes, I think once affiliate and partner can work for almost any business. We like to see people get to a couple million in sales US so that they have their business model figured out, so they can go to their partners with a better value proposition and be clear about it. I've seen too many brands kind of go experimentally to partners and really then the partners don't do well, and then it's hard to get a second chance with them. All right, another one here. Where do you think the big growth regions and verticals will be in the affiliate space? Obviously, US has been a big market. We're seeing a lot of growth in India as that last mile of e-commerce is solved. Obviously, there's more physical. I was talking before, there's been a lot of digital, and gaming has been big in affiliate, but you need more of those physical goods to get delivered to the end user online. So I think India is a big market. We're still seeing parts of Europe continue to grow. So I think the Middle East, India, we're seeing a ton of growth in Germany. Those are and in Southeast Asia, those are the emerging markets. But still, I think the U.S. is probably the biggest market in the world. Great. So I think we're right up on time. Thank you very much, everyone. Again, my information was there. If you have questions, please reach out, and I'd be happy to answer any questions that I can.
Great. This was so insightful. Sincere thanks to you, Mr. Robert, for taking time out to join us today and for sharing such key inputs. We truly appreciate it. Today has been absolutely delightful, full of key learnings and virtual interactions. I'm sure all of us have so much to take back home. On behalf of IAMAI, I would like to thank our advisory board members, all our exhibitors, our event supporters, our partners, B Commission, Optimize Media, Zapads Media, Trackyear, Value Leaf, Microsoft InMobi, Admitad, Velco Media, Bidroid.io, CollectCent, Cashkaro, and Airmeet. And the audience for their immense support in making this conference a great success. Ladies and gentlemen, with that, we conclude the 7th edition of India Affiliate Summit. Thank you, all of you, and stay safe.